And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we doing this fine Monday? I apologize for my slight lateness. It isn't the usual reason, that is to say, I'm doing a poo. I was actually trying to get ahead of myself with a little bit of extra work today because my kids have a birthday soon and I wanted to make sure this week I could do something fun with them on their actual birthday, since their birthday is the most dreaded of all days during a school day. Damn it, which is just the worst. Although I don't know about anybody else, but my birthday used to be on the first day after summer holidays more than one time, which used to drive me absolutely fucking nanas. I didn't hate my birthday, but I did very much dislike the day that it was on. It was never fun. But yeah, I haven't actually set myself up with the stream text yet, so let me deal with that for a second. But yeah, there we go. So I got myself a little bit ahead. I've only got a little bit of work to do tomorrow, and then I can have some fun time with the kids. We took them to a museum that was supposed to have arcade games in it. And the only place with that had a massively long waiting time, and the kids were just not fucking up for it. So I decided that I'm going to, I'd say this a bit quietly, I'm going to set up the living room as an arcade, since I have arcade sticks and a big telly, so it'll be like a really cool virtual arcade, and I think they'll have a bit of fun with that. Gave birth to twins.
He did.
Yes, that was 100% me. Mrs. Sick was there, but she really didn't really do anything. Hey everyone, hopefully there's enough whiskey left to share. Well, today, because I've actually run out of whiskey, I know, and I just haven't resupplied.
Have you?
Well, not entirely. I have some whiskies I don't like, and I just didn't fucking want any of
There's
those.
the Eagle stuff that's in the kitchen.
I guess there's a bit of that left.
Do you want me to get it?
No, I got myself a Baileys.
Oh.
I got a Baileys.
Fancy.
We do Baileys with this drink called Chocomel, which is, I'm pretty sure it's what Mars drink used to be, but whatever. But you put that with Baileys and it tastes fucking amazing. And you can have a really big drink with it instead of. That's the problem with Baileys, is that you feel very bad if you have a big Baileys. You're like, that's a lot. Anyway, all right. So this is. Let me just save this. Export. Save as. Bet. And yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Mrs. Sick has been streaming. I know a lot of you have been turning up. I see people in the chat who have definitely been turning up. And for those who care, she defeated the Dark Souls today, the first one. And I am actually super fucking proud of her for it. Considering...
You're proud of me?
Yeah.
For doing a video game?
Yes, I'm allowed to be proud of you for doing a video game. You did one of the games that is considered kind of hard.
What if I saved somebody's life? How much proud would that be compared to the Dark Souls win?
It entirely depends on who it was. There's a lot of people that I wouldn't thank you for saving, I'll be honest. I might even ask you to go back and put them back where you got them.
My God, that's dark.
Does it really count? If you rescue someone from like the middle of a busy highway, is putting them back is that murder?
When you realise what it is, when you put your glasses on, you're like, oh,
you pick
shit.
them up and you go, ugh. Kent Hovind? No. Throw them back in the ocean. Right, is that saved? Hopefully. Yeah, so I'm literally still doing a teeny tiny bit of work whilst... I guess this still counts as work, but, you know, barely. Yeah, so she's done that. Really, really happy. Really impressed with her as much as she... It's just a video game. I mean, tell that to yourself when you were almost screamingly angry at the stray demon.
Oh, God. That was so really annoying.
I'm looking forward to that episode to see how you edit it.
So annoying.
Which Dark Souls was it? Yes. That should answer your question. Unless you're saying like the difference between Prepare to Die and Remastered. where it was remastered,
Unbelievably rageful.
yeah. She got mad. She got mad at chat. I wasn't even there. She usually just gets mad at me.
But yeah,
It's really weird.
all the other times it was like getting mad at him for backseating, and then the only time I got angry was the asylum demon.
And I wasn't there to get angry at. Oh well. She did apologise. It wasn't...
just the first one, but I am planning to do the other ones. Yes, and Dark Souls Remastered, not the Prepare to Die one. I got told off for doing that one.
Gaming's boring. Oh well.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favourite hobby? I'll shit on that for you. All of them at once, all of the time. I'm sure there have been people who have done...
I could see somebody doing that.
Well, if you connect a controller in the right way, you can play at least 2 at the same time. And then there's the psychopath who's, like, played through all of them in a row, getting hitless runs. Boring is gaming, ask Musk. Gaming is boring, according to Musk, because he doesn't fucking do it and pays other people to do it for him. 100% I believe this to be true. Mostly because of all the evidence. First time tuning
pay
in.
someone to play for you. I just get sick to do it. He did do little bits of it because I just couldn't handle it, but there's a bit where it's like to do with heights. Most of the time, I'm really terrible with heights anyway.
Oh, she went through the crystal cave, which has invisible pathways.
There was invisible pathways where you're walking over like a chasm, and I couldn't do it. My vertigo kept kicking in. I was like, I literally can't do it. I feel sick.
Yeah, she feels sick. Get it? First time tuning into a stream, I was looking through your content and really thought you'd have some words on Kenneth Copeland. He is quite the character. Thoughts? If that's who I think it is, oh my god, looks like and acts like a monster. I've never covered him.
Oh, is he the one who like has the creepiest smile?
I think he has like
ever?
a monster face because he's had so much plastic surgery.
He's...
You get to criticize someone for how they look if it's a shitload of plastic surgery, because that's a choice. That's not some... Age gracefully, I say nothing.
You can't help what nature gives you, but if you do it to yourself...
My goodness. But yeah, if any of you know of any videos of him talking about a subject for at least a few minutes without it being hours and hours and hours, feel free to send me a video, because I will happily fucking cover anything if it's ridiculous and stupid.
Oh, Connie as well helped me out with the fire surge, because it's basically the silent demon again, and I really was not happy about having to fight another one, so it helped me out as well.
I'm building my second RC crawler and have most of the parts. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome. Especially, I like building any tech thing.
I heard RC crawler.
RC... Where is it? Crawler.
Crawler.
I'm assuming it's like a little spider tank or something? You know, with the multiple legs, but like a robot. I don't know, I could be completely wrong, but that's the thing that comes to mind.
RC crawler, yeah.
She couldn't do it because she felt sick. I know. It's kind of ironic, really. In Australia, musk tastes like roses. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I assume it's very funny. Copeland looks like a zombie. Certainly doesn't look like he copes much. I think he died a decade ago. Did he?
I'll check.
I know one of them died like a year or so ago, and it was literally the week I was publishing a video on them. And I made a little statement on the video itself. I was like, the guy died, and that happened, and it is what it is. Didn't say I was apologizing for it. Didn't say I felt bad for criticizing a dead person. In fact, I made it very, very clear that just because someone's died doesn't mean the shitty things they said and the harm that they did while they were alive suddenly becomes off the table
he's
to
not.
criticize.
Kenneth Copeland's still around. He's 80.
I mean, he is a zombie, so...
He's 88 years old.
My goodness. He looks it. Look at the fucking... Yeah, the surgery ain't helping.
Oh, the Wikipedia. Life and career, ministries, personal life, controversy. That's what you want on your bio, isn't it?
He's a little bit controversial. Wasn't that the guy from PragerU who I was talking? Oh, no. The guy from PragerU that I criticized had been dead for like 4 years. And I found out as I was setting up to publish because I was checking names and, checking off dates and shit. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I sat down and I thought about it. And that's basically the first time when I came up to the question, does this mean I shouldn't publish? And I was like, well, no, it's not even recent. And it's not like PragerU did anything with the video. The video's still up. And he's still saying stupid shit. And people still watch the video and go, that's a really good point. Even though it's fucking gibberitic nonsense.
Isn't it like most people anyway? It's not really about the person. It's about what they're saying.
Yeah, I criticize what they're saying. And if I'm calling them stupid, it's because they said something stupid. And what am I supposed to do? Not state facts? Anyway, yeah. So, I can't remember what my fucking point was. Or
I don't know.
Where we even started with this. Oh, people were asking me about Kenneth Copeland and someone said he died. Yeah, so not dead. But even if he was dead, still not the best person in the world, especially when it comes to their hypocrisy. As I remember him just getting so angry at being asked very fair questions about his fucking jets and shit. It's almost like being a greedy monster who takes advantage of people isn't a good look.
Sick having a point, how novel.
Oof, felt that one. It's fair. Calling out the big silly is a must. And it's one that doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. If anything, things are getting sillier. I get more and more annoyed when people tell me, well, I don't think this person is being earnest because that's such a stupid thing to say that it can't be that they really believe it. And I'm like, are you new to the internet? Have you been here before? Where were you in the last 4 years especially? It's a point that I make over and over again, and I think it's a really good point, which is why I keep saying it.
He's more of a lich than a zombie. We need to get his phylactery then.
I think his phylactery is inside his prosthetics on his face. If you punch him hard enough, he'll just explode. Do not punch Kenneth Copeland. I do not make that any more clear. Even if he would explode, just don't punch people. There's no point.
It's just better to just laugh at them.
Exactly. That's the other one I say is that people get very, very I hate this person. Don't hate people. Like, unless they've wronged you personally, definitely don't hate random strangers on the internet. No matter how shitty a person they are, no matter what disgusting shit they say, chances are there's no point in allowing yourself to get that emotionally invested in a negative way in another human being, because they win. You lose when you hate someone every single time.
Well, hate is an investment. So.
Yeah, and they either don't care or they'll be cunts about it. So what exactly are you going to do? It's better to just make fun of people, laugh at the ridiculous morons, criticize them, do proactive things that can help you feel better about your place in the world. Take them on. Tell people what a shitbag they are. But hating them, it eats you alive.
Apathy is free, exactly.
Apathy is free. That is a good. If that's not something someone else said sometime, that's fucking brilliant, and I'm stealing it. If it is something,
there's more Dandadan in July. Sweet.
That is sweet. Dandadan was very good. How about a pie in the face then? See, I get where you're coming from. The problem with throwing things at people is that you get one psychopath who fills a milkshake with cement, and suddenly it's not actually just throwing whatever on them or
Also, you don't know
paint on them.
You don't know if people are allergic to stuff.
That too. Like, don't assault people. The only reason to use violence is in response to violence. Otherwise, you just move away. I'm making a pie tomorrow. Also, waste of a perfectly good pie. You just turned a pie from being something you could eat and enjoy to something that now they might possibly enjoy.
It would be better if you turned up to places and seductively ate a pie in front of them.
Yeah. Do sexy pie dance. That'll get them. Hail apathy. Oh, that's too much effort for apathy, though. Just fart in their general direction. If you can get away with that, like going upwind of people and farting, that is the most... it's a lot of effort, but you could pull it off, and no one's going to do this.
Do you think humans will ever get to Mars? In what context? Because we already have got to Mars. We just haven't... You mean like humans literally on Mars, or do you mean like humans exploring Mars?
Haven't watched this channel for months. Is Sirsik woke or an actual normal person? It depends entirely on what the fuck you mean by woke. Because it's such a goddamn buzzword. And also, there's normal people. And then there's what you might call the woke. And the ones that you mean are like crazy people. But there's cunts on the other side who are equally as cringe. An actual normal person
there's so many layers
is someone who doesn't act like a giant wanker.
There's
yeah.
so many layers to the word work, though, that it's kind of hard to pin down what people exactly
that's
what
the
they
problem.
mean.
When something becomes a buzzword that doesn't fucking mean anything, and you just you use it to throw at the people you don't like.
Like my dad uses it.
Oh god!
And it's just like most of the time he uses it in the strangest context, and I'm like,
the woke are about, and it's like, who are the woke? Are the woke in the room with us right now? It's like fucking grow up. Imagine someone calling the police on you for a sexy pie dance. It's a victimless crime, but definitely a crime. It's more of a crime against nature and pie.
My nipples were covered by cream. What is the problem?
My nipples and various parts. I have many. There's a lot of bits of me that need to be censored, I'll be honest.
No, he isn't.
He's not woke, he's drunk. Yeah, that's about right. Ultimately, anyone in any direction can be a fucking ridiculous person.
Yay for
Your
nipples.
extremely spiritual types are often wokies, if you want to call them that, and they're ridiculous. And extremely religious types are often different kinds of dipshits. Just don't be stupid. Stop being stupid, and then you'll be at least tolerable. And be self-aware. I think that's the most important one. I think you'll find in all extremists that they have such a lack of self-awareness, and that's what really drives me crazy. Yay, nipples. How many? So many nipples. Nipple pies. The collection of nipples would take a lot.
I do like the idea that humans have 6, though.
6 nipples?
Yeah.
Oh, what, like a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one that always gets me.
Pigs have 8, don't they? That'd be interesting too, because humans are similar to pigs.
Nipple storm.
Nipple storm.
Sirsik is the opposite of creaky. He's not drunk. He's just Welsh. I don't know how you can tell he's Welsh, though. I mean, his completely lacks an accent. Oh. Cat girls. Okay, thank you. What's wrong with a kiss, Monty Python? It depends where. Self-aware and not bothering other people with no reason is good people. I mean, yeah. The one that you'll always get, especially as an atheist, is some dipshit. Usually, if I mention that I'm an atheist, it's in response to some sort of situation, and then the whole idea that atheists will tell you. But it's like, yeah, usually because you said something first. you wanted to tell me about Jesus, and it's like, actually, no, sorry, I'm an atheist. You're preaching to the wrong crowd. It's just not going to work. And they're like, oh, you wouldn't do this.
The only time I ever mention it is when people ask if I'm religious.
Yeah. And it doesn't count that I have a channel that talks about atheism, because it's my channel and I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. I consider it, basically my channel is like my little house, and then you can come and all stare at the freak. And somehow advertisement happens when you do that, and that's basically how I get paid. It's all good. Wow. I live in the US and I'm constantly told to have a blessed day by cashiers in stores. Super fucking annoying. Yeah, basically, when you're surrounded by it, like, you bringing it up is almost always going to be in some fashion justified. There's very few situations where someone somewhere, especially in the US, isn't trying to shove it down your throat and you're like, fine, but as soon as you say anything, suddenly you're talking about it too much. It's just that people just don't want to fucking hear it. People don't like hearing things that they disagree with. It makes them upset. Your channel rocks. Only when I take my monitor and, like, swizzle it from side to side. That's a terrible joke. I am so sorry. God believes 99% atheists don't believe in other God. I mean, yes and no. The thing is, theist, it just means theist. Being atheist, it doesn't actually mean it doesn't say what gods you believe in. So I don't really buy into that kind of idea. I also don't like the rocks are atheists, trees are atheists, and babies are atheists, because show me a theist rock, tree, or baby. You can't, because they don't exist. Therefore, the opposing idea, the without idea, does not exist. It's just not a very useful point or a good one.
They're just neutral.
Yeah. I get sick of people calling me homeless. I just embrace looking like a tramp, okay? And, you know, you sit there with a coffee cup and people put money in it and you keep the money. It's all good.
Apparently there is a new woo to me.
Some people believe coffee enemas lower anxiety and help with depression. The internet is full of wonders. I have heard that one already many, many times.
What?
Basically,
coffee like increases anxiety, doesn't it?
I guess it almost certainly would do. It is a stimulant.
I guess it depends on the person, because
well, actually, no, it's a stimulant.
There's some people who drink coffee but also have ADHD.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have ADHD, it could mellow you out.
It regulates you. It doesn't completely get rid of your symptoms, but it regulates you.
Militarized pie dance, Operation Nipple Storm. I'm going to have to say we need to fund this right now.
I think that should be how people do war, is by pie dance.
Also, woo, you did a first time of the super first chat. I am being told by YouTube that I should say this because it will encourage others to give me money. Therefore, give me money. I love it. It is my favorite. I love money and sex. You're tripping me out. Baby's first deities are the caregivers. I'll be honest, the caregivers sounds like an alien race.
It does. I was thinking that sounds like a Doctor Who thing.
The caregivers have come, and they are here to eat you. And it would be like they have the nicest name, but they're just the most horrifyingly scary enemy.
Sick do a coffee enema merch.
No. It would be a whiskey enema anyway.
The thing is I'm the one who'd have to draw it.
I was instantly encouraged to have money. Thank you, Timo. We'd like it when money happens at me. It is good, and thus more should do. I am very bad at getting people to give me money. Hence the fact that the fucking merch store still isn't fixed. Right, I need to sit back. There we go. Coffee enemas are the shit. Oh, I think the coffee becomes the shit. That's how that works. How's the merch store? Thank you. Yep, still haven't fucking done it. Sick brand merch because we're tired of eating stray cats. Oh, that's a deep cut. That is the old one. I mean, handsome, famous, and good at the sex came from just one of the original merch store plugs. And I really like the other thing. One of the reasons I need to fix the merch store is so I have a reason to change my outro to include whatever that store is and doing stuff. I'm having trouble finding the sick merch. I'm not happy. You will do, because it basically doesn't fucking exist, because I just maybe I need to pay someone to do it for me. Maybe that would work. I don't know. Are there Temu religions, just something cheap I can berate for being crap? I mean, you can certainly berate most religions for being pretty crap. Bailey's flavor enemas. The problem with flavoring your enemas is, I don't know about you lot, but I don't taste things with my arsehole.
It implies that you're trying to taste it.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm pretty glad I don't taste things with my arsehole, because you know what comes out of it? Not nice things, I tell you that
Chicken
much.
wings, that's what comes out.
I would buy the merch. Do it. Take my money. I know. I'm sorry. It's pretty much been my biggest controversy. It's just too lazy to let you give me money. Oh yes, boofing a liquid or whatever. What is an animal? You are corny. Thanks, chat. Didn't need that mental image. Oh, chat's excellent at giving various quality mental images. When we get down into it, it's always a good time. It's going to be about, like, 50% of the streams are about shit and the other 50% are about food. So it's about one whole or the other. And honestly, it's just a pipeline through the body anyway. Human beings are technically donuts. If you've seen that one, they're a shape with a hole directly through the middle. What do you think of pantheism? I think that if it makes you happy and you don't make ridiculous claims about the universe in a public setting, I don't care. But if you say, oh, my pantheist beliefs are this, that, and the other, and this ridiculous fucking idea explains how gravity works, I'm going to make fun of you for it. But yeah, if you just think, oh, there might be a god of wine, like, okay, cool. And if you're gonna be pantheist in the, I like to pick things that kind of represent ideas rather than specific gods specifically, then make sure I'm in it and I represent whiskey, and I'll be happy. That'll be the best religion ever. I've invested myself thoroughly and found myself to not be guilty. Oh, investigated. I thought you said invested in yourself. Always there for Mrs. Extremes. Can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, she's putting out a new game tomorrow. It'll be Kingdom Come Deliverance. You installed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Does it work?
I tested.
You've tested and it works?
I tested to see if it would open.
Ah.
And I checked at the settings to make sure stuff. But yeah, it opens fine.
Cool. So yeah, it'll be that. Your lot should turn up to more of her streams. They are pretty good, actually. And she's getting more and more gooder at gaming. There's a special place in hell for those who waste good whiskey. There's a special place in hell for those who waste bad whiskey. It's all whiskey. Even the worst whiskey is still, in the top 20% of all drinks.
Just like, just always keep going back to the fact that you would drink crap whiskey just because it's there.
Yes, I will drink crap whiskey if it's there, because it's still whiskey and it's still probably better than most things. The only types of whiskey that I just can't drink are the ones that are super sweet. There's something about them that just does me in. Dendrochronology, archaeology, biology, paleontology, chemistry, okay. Why you say words? I feel like you fell down into a dictionary. Viva la Dirt League collaboration then. I've heard the name, I do not know who they are. You have to remember, I spend vanishingly little time in most aspects of the internet. Even though I use YouTube as my main way of viewing things, I mostly watch gamers. There's very few actual people who do similar things to what I do that I'll watch.
He likes to watch video essays on video games.
Yeah.
Or he watches Linus Tech Tips talk about technology so that he can get new things to play video games.
I also watch them to get new things to do work. I've spent an exorbitant amount of money building, although I haven't even built it yet, buying the parts for a full system upgrade because I realized I'm like 5 years out of date and realized that's why when I edit videos now, obviously, I add more shit than I used to. And I didn't realize just how much more shit that I started adding than I used to. And I would start getting to like the last couple of hours of editing and it would become nightmarishly difficult because my computer wasn't keeping up. I was like, oh no, this is bad. This makes it very difficult to do any work. Also, for some fucking reason, my network card just keeps crapping the bed. So I've ended up buying this ridiculously expensive motherboard because it's pro grade and I can put it on my fucking taxes. But yeah, I'm kind of not looking forward to building it because it's the first time I've built a computer in a long time that is not necessarily beyond my ability to pay for it, but it feels expensive, and it makes me very uncomfortable that I'm going to fuck something up. Thank God that Amazon is basically evil and thus really good to customers somehow. Well, I celebrate your love of the single malt. I'm a bit miffed that you do not also celebrate beer, especially acai lager. I don't like beer. I'm sorry, I don't like it. It's not an enjoyable drink.
It's liquid bread.
I can drink lager on a really hot day if it's very, very cold. But there's many other things I'd prefer to drink on a really hot day that's very, very cold, including whiskey in fucking Pepsi Max with lots of ice. That's really nice on a hot day.
Like I like lager, but I can't have it anymore.
She went through a phase of trying to drink lager again after being pregnant made her fucking hate it. And then she got used to it, and then she figured out that she's probably got some sort of gluten intolerance. I just bought a bottle of Yellow Spot to bring as a gift to my friend in Costa Rica. Great Irish whiskey. Still sounds like a piss stain. Very much so. Something proves the Earth is 4.5 billion years old.
£2 proves the Earth is 4.5 billion years old.
That's true. £2 does prove that. £10 proves it even more. £50 unbelievably proves it. £500 it's so much proof that the Earth is 5.5 billion years old. It also will prove that the Earth is in fact round, or it will prove it's flat. It will prove whatever you say. If you give me £500 as a super chat, I'll say almost anything, as long as it's not something that would like make me criminally liable. I'm not going to admit to your crimes for you, but anything I can pass off as a meme, then yeah. There's nothing wrong with selling your opinion for money, as long as it's lots of money. Goodness. Not that I have actually ever really done that, but still. Like people would try and like get me to have an opinion by joining my Patreon and then being surprised that I'm like, no, you're not going to buy my fucking opinion, dipshit. I'm just going to see something. Like if you send me a video, I'm not necessarily going to do it. I keep bringing it up, but I think it's always a good point to bring up. If you send me a video of someone who's clearly got a profound learning disability, I'm not going to fucking cover them. You might think that I'm evil, but that's a meme. I'm not actually a piece of trash. And yeah, if you think it's okay to make fun of someone who's just got a learning disability and says that they love God, that's fucking weird. They're fine. Leave them alone. Jesus Christ. I had to kick beer. I found out I have gout, and beer just sends it wild. I've never really understood, the gout. I've heard many people mention gout, but I've never really known what it is. £500 will make you say these words. I'm not stupid, Surrender Monkey. But I will say that if you send me £500. But I might add caveats about it not being a legally binding thing.
Ooh. Steamer sent me a message.
My opinions are seldom for sale. Maybe I should branch out.
They're mine. You can't have them.
My opinions are for sale as long as they're obviously ridiculous nonsense. That's basically how it is. If it's about something that I give a shit about, I'm probably not going to say it. People think you're evil? Well, Sir Sick memes are being evil. The character that I play, I know it's a cartoon and not really who I am in a real person. Pretty sure IRL Sick is a good bean. I try to be. I'm not convinced that I always am. People make mistakes. Sounds like woke moralism to me. You won't sell your opinion for money, you fucking wokey bastard. You're not evil. My whole worldview is crashing down. Who have I been worshipping? Who did I sacrifice all those people to? Fuck. You still did good. It's fine. When the doorbell rang, the cat was the first one to hide. The dog at least barked. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about having a dog that I concern myself with. I feel like I'd actually train it so it wouldn't do that. But when people have dogs who just fucking bark at everything, like, no, that's bad. You're noisy. Our neighbor has a dog that just constantly fucking barks. It drives us a little bit crazy.
If one of us sneezes, the dog starts barking.
Oh my god, what's happening? Whoa, 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 whoa. It's quite a cute dog, though. I'd love to fucking smush its face. Be like, oh, you good boy. But it's also a neighbor's dog, so I'm not going to interact with them ever. I let everyone have an opinion for free. Everyone loves that. You just give them out, hand them out. You're a wanker. Fuck you. Write them down on little pieces of paper. My opinions are for sale, but the price is absurdly high. Shove enough money at me, and if I can retire to my own island afterwards, I'll say anything you want. Yeah, I'm pretty much on board with that concept. It would definitely have to be buying island money, and then I wouldn't even buy an island because fuck you. Can you imagine the upkeep on a goddamn island? Buying one is one thing. Being able to actually live there is quite another. It's like when you see a boat and you go, do you know what? £1 million for a boat isn't that much money. But when you find out that actually, if you can afford to buy a boat for £1 million, you would have to afford to be able to take care of it, which is way more. There are cave drawings of penises older than 6,000 years. Of course there fucking are. I mean, I don't even need that corroborating. I believe that as a matter of fact. Let's celebrate their third super on a live stream. Fuck off, YouTube. It's quite one thing telling someone does a super chat for the first time. I get it. You should say, hey, nice one. Good job. You gave me money, and that's what's important. But third, it's not even like 10th or 50th or 1/1,000,000th. Ridiculous. Mate, we ain't had £1 notes in 50 years. Who's talking about £1 notes? Or like white fivers? Or any of the other really, really old currency?
I kind of miss the old £20 notes though.
I haven't seen any of the new ones yet.
Oh, the Chuck Bucks?
Yeah, I haven't seen.
No, I haven't either.
We've still got Queen dollars instead of Chuck Bucks, so I'm almost disappointed. Can you buy Greenland? No, but even if I could, I probably wouldn't. I would just buy a house in the middle of a big stretch of land so that I couldn't hear anybody else. That would be my.
And then you can be
aim.
as loud as you want.
White Fivers, cool name for a band. Yeah, it was actually a thing. I only know about it because of some fucking TV show back when I was a kid. Was also based at like the 50s. And someone found a big pile of white fivers, and they were like, "Oh, that's not legal currency anymore." And so he burns it, and then someone comes back and says, "Yeah, but you can still take it to the bank and get it traded." And yeah, it was ridiculous.
I miss shekels.
I miss half a denari for my life story. No pleasing some people. That's just what Jesus said.
I miss the bartering system.
I miss trading things for a big bag of rice. You guys must be strong carrying 20 pounds all day. Oh, you have no idea. I'm so weighed down.
The power of free compel me to give you money. Thank you, Timo. I love that he's got 3 likes.
No more likes, eh? I'd buy a small moon and flatten it out. I don't even know what that means.
Why?
Is that to have it as a flat planet? That would be like an endless fucking task.
Steve, with getting the steamroller, just hours and hours going back and forth.
At best, you'd maybe have like a crescent-shaped moon, like just a half moon. And even then, I don't think that's how that would work. Sick already carries all of the whiskey. What's 20 pounds to him? It's the straw that broke the whiskey camel's back. Upkeep of Greenland is about 300 mil a year. Yeah, that's a couple of bucks.
I heard Darwin
Gemini,
was one on your.
Stop fucking listening to me.
I heard Darwin was one on your British monies. Is that true? I think it was.
I believe Darwin is on one of them. There you go.
What? I don't know.
I know things.
I just look at the colour and hand it over. Blow. You
have a blow, Franco.
Have a blow.
I'm gonna go bye-bye. Okay. What time is it actually? Okay. Got 15 whole minutes before I'm gonna fuck off and do something else. You're not supposed to tell them where the whiskey stash is. I never tell anybody anything. You think I've ever even said words? No. You just imagine it. Every time one of you goes to one of my videos, it's just complete silence. And you just don't realise because of just how good looking I am. It's ridiculous, really. I say we go back to the Aurus. It's kind of where all nonsense coins and papers started. At least it's gold. Fair enough. As a well-meaning ne'er-do-well, I once switched on the storage heater in the kitchen for the dog, not knowing my dad stirred the soda stream gas refills after the explosion. The dog barked at everything. Oof, that is a fun. Notice Sick never moves his mouth. Masterful. I am the greatest. Oh fuck! I forget the name of it. Someone who does the puppet. Ventriloquist boy. Jesus Christ versus Marvel Jesus. Okay, you can die and return in 3 days. I mean, one of them does die and come back a lot faster.
He speaks to you telepathically anyway.
Which one?
You.
Oh, right, I speak telepathically.
Yeah.
That's why other people don't get it. It's not because of anything that makes sense. It's because you can only hear me in your brain holes. And then I've got one person who recently, in like half my videos, keeps telling me there's something like super duper wrong with my audio. Like it's really fuzzy. And then I listen to it and it's fine. And I'm pretty sure it's their goddamn speakers. And just my exact tone of voice just affects them.
Well, you have quite a resonant voice, so you're like when you're recording and I'm trying to listen to something else to block out you.
You can still hear
me. I have my hand on my desk.
You can feel
and
me.
I feel it going through my desk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Teletriloquism, exactly.
Congratulations on 1113. What's that?
133k. Looking forward to another 30 months of supporting my favourite terrible smartass Brit. I'm at the 131 or 131.5. Unless you meant something else and I'm confused.
Unless YouTube rounded it up.
I don't think it does. Not to that degree. Now I need to check.
If you suddenly just had like a shitload of people sub to you.
Imagine. It's $1.5 grand in a day. I mean, sometimes that be how it do, and you be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, 131. So you could arguably say 132. Anyway, not that it matters. It says 131 here. Yeah. Nope, shows me 133 in Canada. Oh, you see, it's because of the difference in money.
It's the Canada tax.
Yeah, that makes sense. He has blown speakers or ears, which yes. On my phone, I have to turn the volume all the way up to hear your live stream right now, and I'm using a Bluetooth speaker because it's quite low volume. I don't know what to tell you. I think the stream should be coming through reasonably loud, but it is what it is. Not that these are important. And I try to make sure my videos come out reasonably decent volume. I've been frustrated before, but I've never blown a speaker. Yeah, but how poor have you been? Would you change your mind then? It's that Canadian optimism. Yeah, I'll be 200,000 in Canada, and that's still at this number in real life. What's good on my 83-inch TV? Ah, you little show off. We've only got a 77-inch TV, basically tiny. Throw it in the bin. I don't know if you had like as big a TV or nearly as big a TV as that before, but we went from a 55-inch to a 77-inch, and at first I was like, was this a good idea? This seems like a lot.
It is a lot.
And now it's like...
It's still big.
Not as good as a 69-inch TV, true.
Oh my god. Oh, if only. They would sell like hotcakes though.
I don't think they would.
Just for the meme.
I don't think people would be buying TVs based on memes, I'll be honest.
Yeah, they would.
My tablet is on 60% volume and you sound like the same level as a normal conversation. So yeah, I guess it just depends on your piece of hardware. Speaking of hardware, my butthole has decided...
What?
I need you to like talk and answer questions for a bit. Because I was sitting here thinking, can I hold this in? Yeah, I can hold this in. And my body's like, no, you can't. No, you definitely can't. But I'm giving 15 seconds or whatever it takes for people to start. You sound fine coming out my 3DS. Fuck you. Am I in 3D as well? Yeah. Start asking me sick questions about whatever.
Oh, no.
Make sure they're funny.
I don't like doing this. No.
I know you don't like doing it, but you need the practice.
I don't need practice, because like when I'm playing video game, I talk about video game.
Then talk about video game.
But there is no video game though.
Tell them how it felt to be win.
What? It didn't feel anything to win Dark Souls. I was just like, okay, I finished it. That's about it. I could talk about Egypt. I like talking about Egypt. They've actually found a It's been over 100 years since they found a pharaoh mummy, and they've actually found another one. They believe it to be Tutmos II, which is quite exciting for me because Tutmos the third, 1, 2, 3. He had the Amduat, which is like an old book of the dead, and he had it written on the walls of his tomb, and the drawings in it are like so unique because they're in black and white. Occasionally there's red in there as well, but they're usually in black and white, and it's just one of the most beautiful art I've ever seen. It's so simple compared to all the other art, which is usually incredibly colourful and shows so much like liveliness to it, whereas this one is so like simplified and it's so map-like that it really goes to show like the intent behind it. Yeah, it's one of my favourite ones. I actually have the translation of it by Eric. I can't remember his second name, but he's in the Amduat book. Sick bought me the book, and but it gives you the translations in the book, and I was just like, oh my god, it's such a good book. But I love Egyptian books anyway, so. But history is cool. Yes, it is. Which is. Are you okay? He made a very squeaky noise.
Oh, it's not good. That was not fun. That was a butt explosion and a half. I told you this was either going to be about food or about shit. Oh.
We were talking about Egypt, but now you ruined it.
Did they not shit in Egypt?
Do you mean Egyptian scrolls?
What were Egyptian toilets like?
Oh, not scrolls. The Amduat is actually painted on the wall of a tomb.
Ah. Anyway, what are Egyptian toilets like?
I'm
assuming that they're at the top of the pyramids. Right, you get to the top and there's a toilet, like the ones you would get nowadays because advanced alien technology.
No, there isn't.
And but it would all just roll down the sides in a perfectly organized fashion, just pee in all directions. That's why they were golden at the top.
They often had I know they had rubbish tips at the back of their house, so it was probably something similar. They just kind of dug a hole and buried things.
Just throw rubbish out the back of their house. And
they often had piles of a small rubbish tip behind the back of their houses.
Would there be a point that someone would take it away, or did it just?
Food would just. They would kind of bury it.
Yeah.
But the food would just rot, and then because of the heat of the desert as well, it would just kind of just rot away. It becomes so preserved.
Yeah. I guess it would rot away.
The main reason they found the rubbish tips is partly because they knew that they were that. Is because they found shards of pottery and stuff that had writing on it, and it was daily writing for instructions and lists and things. So it was clearly just not usable anymore. They just tossed it.
Cersei uses a bucket. No, I just use the helmet. God, it stinks in here. No, I use the toilet, funnily enough. But I also, if I ever eat anything spicy, it comes back to haunt me. As I've said before, Mrs. Sick used to think that I didn't like spicy food because the next day I'd be like, oh, my butthole hurts. But then I would still eat the food.
That's what the canopic jars were for.
What, shitting in?
No. They were to put organs in that they found important. They preserved them because they believed that people would need them in the afterlife.
What about the shit organ? Did they put the butthole in there?
They put the intestines in there.
Ah.
So they didn't really know what it was for, but they saw you probably need that bit. They got rid of the brain though. They didn't think you needed the brain.
Pot label. This is kombucha. Don't pee in it. But you can shit in it if you like. Same flavour. I don't know what kombucha is, to be honest. So for me, I love spicy food, but my body just doesn't want it anymore. I really like chicken wings, and some of the spicier ones are really, really delicious. And then the next day, not so tasty, I'll be honest. And no. How do you put a hole in an urn? Surely an urn has a hole in it already. An urn isn't necessarily a sealed unit, is it?
No.
Or am I being stupid? Why is spicy food hotter on the way out? I guess for some reason your asshole needed to be more sensitive than your mouth hole. I mean, in some senses that might make sense, because if something tried to crawl inside, you'd need to know that.
Apparently, as well, you have you have cells around your asshole, which is for tasting. Which
is an odd thing to do.
Yeah.
That was an odd thing for God to do, or Jesus or whoever
they don't function to taste, but they are the same cells. Yeah.
They probably function as a sensor because that's all it is a sensor.
Yeah.
Crawl inside leeches. Oh, those butthole leeches, famous as they are. The sisters need the intestines. She incested. Oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, the worst spicy thing I ever ate was a 1 million Scoville curry wurst. I shivered after I finished it. All strength left my body. I was sweating whilst being ice cold, and it burnt twice. And I imagine it burnt more the second time, as they invariably do. They don't know what intestines were for. They couldn't see that one end was connected to the mouth and the other end is connected to the butt. I mean, it feels like something that someone should have checked at some point.
Well, they had some understanding of organs, but a lot of the time they just assumed, like, well, certain ones looked like they would have more purpose. Like, intestines have more purpose because they're in the center of your body. And then, like, the liver had purpose because it was usually very filled with blood. So they assumed it was a greater purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And then you had the lungs, which makes sense because of, like, they breathe and move. So anything that was animated was usually seen as extremely important. So the heart was so important, they left it in the body because they believed it was.
It's always obvious that the heart is doing something.
Yeah, because the heart is always moving and it moves on its own. They assumed it was the seat of the soul.
Yeah, felt like shitting napalm. Have you shat napalm before? I don't know how. Have you been boofing napalm?
Oh my god!
I feel like that's probably a mistake. Bunghole, according to the great Cornolio. I need TB for my bunghole. Sharp cheddar with scorpion chilies. 1.2 million on the Scoville scale. I don't even know why you would need the cheddar to be sharp. At that point, you're not fucking tasting cheese anymore, are you? Spicy food is not me. You are not spicy food. Good to know. I won't eat you. Zero spicy in India is at least 30,000 Scovilles. They got a cream pudding that's as spicy as anything any human has ever tasted outside of the country. A lot of cultures thought the brain was a blood cooling system.
Yeah, no, like
I guess.
I know the Egyptians kind of thought it was. They didn't see it as being useful in
like
the same
a bald
sense.
person on a cold night will steam. I have seen it more than once in my life. Brain was useless. Thinking was made in the heart. Even though the bit of your body where everything was coming in, it was really near that.
Like
it feels obvious, but when you know something, of course it's obvious.
Like they did have like some like investigations into certain organs like the brain, but it wasn't enough to like they believed you fought with your heart, not with your brain. Your brain was mainly just there to help your senses work rather than your actual brain to think. Yeah.
Favorite cookware? A flat-bottomed wok.
Yeah, our wok is our ultimate
Easily
one. We use it for everything.
You can use a wok to cook literally any kind of fucking meal you could think of, for the most part. I'm sure there's a few things that someone's already wildly typing into chat. Actually, you can't use it to cook this. I beg
to differ. We're
also,
frying,
Dick Gallo with his boobies.
We're frying it. We're boiling it. We stir frying it.
Literally anything. I thought memories were stored in the balls. No, that's pee. That's what women do. Think with their hearts. Oh, got to throw in some pointless battle of the sexes shit. Yeah. Best fried rice is made in a wok. Well, yeah, obviously. Most good foods are made in a wok. Anyway, we have hit the hour mark, and I need to go do things. I need to make sure I've got all my work prepped for tomorrow so that I only have to do what I have to do, and I will catch you all next time. Thank you for coming. Bye!
And don't forget to come again.
All over my foot.